Hi, I'm David Pardon with DBP Electrical Consulting, and today I would like to talk to you about pricing change orders. A lot of electrical contractors see change orders as an opportunity to make a big profit on something that they normally would not. And what they'll do is they'll price something 2 or 3 times the normal rate that they would do if they were just bidding on the job. And they believe that they're making a really large profit by doing that. And some think that it will help them to recur losses from a bid that was bid too low. But in reality, they're losing money big time, and they're breeding a lot of hate and discontent during the process. By doing this, you're creating all kinds of bad blood between the electrical contractor, the general contractor, the architect, the engineer, and ultimately the owner. And you may ask yourself, well, how is that so? Well, the general contractor, he is responsible for scoping his subs out. Not only is he looking for the best price that he can get, but he's also looking for the best value. And if a general contractor gets a sub that's gouging the owner at every opportunity, it really calls his character into question. The engineer that drew the drawings, he possibly made a mistake and left something out. And when you price a change order heavy like that, it really draws attention to the fact that the engineer he made a mistake and he missed something possibly, which could cause you to have quality issues during the process, because the engineer is going to be inspecting your job and he's really going to be looking at you with a fine-tooth comb. The architect is responsible to the owner because of the fact that he establishes the budget for the project, and every time there's a change order like this, it sends the job into the red. And finally, and most importantly, it creates a ton of bad blood between you and the owner of the property or the building or whatever the facility is. You'll get your warranty work, but there's no profit in warranty work because it's warranty work. But it would be really cool to be able to do service work after the job is over for years to come. Well, if you gouge a owner, the last thing he's going to want to do is contact you for future work. And as I stated earlier, you're probably thinking that you're making a lot of money by doing this, when in reality, you're losing money and you don't even know it probably. Let's take, for instance, say on a job, they're going to add a receptacle, and so what will happen is typically the general contractor's foreman will go get your electrical foreman and stop him from whatever he's doing and go over and have him look at the job, and hit your foreman will have to measure it out, take down all the notes and everything, and then he'll have to go back and get on the phone and speak to the electrical project manager. Well, did you capture any of that time lost for your job foreman to stop what he was doing and go look at that project? I doubt seriously that you did. Then your project manager has to take the time to price the job up, write it up, submit it, wait for an approval. Hopefully you're waiting for an approval before you actually do a change order, because if you're not, you're likely gonna get either pennies on the dollar or not get paid at all. So anyway, did your pricing that receptacle 50 feet away, did it capture the cost of your project manager spending the additional time to price that job out? Then finally, once the approval has been given to do the change order, once again, the general contractor's foreman's going to go grab the electrical contractor's foreman and say, okay, we have been approved to do this change order now. You guys have to do it immediately because we're ready to insulate and hang sheetrock. So now once again, your foreman has been pulled off from what he's doing. He has to go get the crew and say, all right, guys, we're moving over to this part of the project to add a receptacle. Your crew has to now demobilize off their area, roll their cords up, move their ladders, their scaffolds, whatever, pick up their material, clean up the area of any debris that could be a safety hazard, move over and remobilize at the new site. Now they do their work, and then they have to demobilize off that site, clean up the materials left over, roll up the cords, pick up the ladders, and remobilize back to their original site where they were working. Did your cost capture any of that? And now, once that work's been done, your job foreman, he has to go to the job trailer, the general contractor's job trailer, update the as-built drawings, do the red lines. I doubt your cost picked up any of that. And then finally, maybe the job would have ended on a Friday if you didn't have that change order. Maybe you would have got 100% complete on Friday afternoon. But as a result, you have to go back for an additional 3 or 4 hours on Monday. Well, maybe the general contractor's policy is that they have a safety meeting every Monday. So now you have to, all of your guys on the job have to attend a safety meeting that they otherwise would not have had to have. So anyway, as you can see, your little 2 or 3 times your normal rate for a receptacle, to install a receptacle, it didn't capture any of that cost. And quite honestly, you lost your ass on the job and you don't even know it. So when you're doing a change order, it's okay to take into account all these things, line item them out, get the foreman time, the demobilization, the remobilization, the roll up, the as-built, and have line items for all of that kind of stuff, so that you can account for that and recoup your loss. Because frankly, a change order is almost always a lose-lose for everyone, despite the fact that you might think that you're making a lot of money because you charge 2 or 3 times your normal fee to install a receptacle. So I think in conclusion, we can see that pricing change orders is a delicate thing. If you want to keep your reputation with the general contractor, the owner, the architect, the engineer, if you want to potentially salvage any future service work that might happen with the end user, then you really need to price your change orders fairly and get them approved prior to starting any work. So anyway, I hope this little talk about change orders will help improve your ability to sell your company and to develop a reputation. Again, my name is David Pardon with DBP Electrical Consulting, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.